Zach, I mean, you're playing Alabama. We all know what they are offensively. If I could snap my fingers for you and say I can take away one thing that they do well, what would you want me to take?
Yeah. That like you already mentioned it, right? They got so many strengths. You can't take away. If you sell out to take away one thing, they got three other ways they can hurt you. They're so explosive on offense. I mean, offensive line is as good as I've ever seen. Obviously, you see the skill and explosiveness at wide receiver. And then, Najee Harris, I remember coming out of high school because I was coaching in California. He's up in the Bay Area, and he was a phenomenal recruit coming out of high school, and he's only lived up to the billing and more. I mean, he is a big physical back who's got home run capability and fights for the extra yards. Tremendous offense.
Next, we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Coach, Mac Jones might be exceeding expectations a little bit. You've had a chance to break him down a little bit. What do you think about him, and what does he do so well? How's he been so successful?
Well, I think, sorry. Anyone was throwing for, I think, 1,900 yards through 5 games, if I'm correct? That's 400 yards a game. I mean, he's incredibly accurate with the football, puts it right on the money to those guys, and then he does a good job of getting it out on time. I mean, if teams are dropping back and playing zone, rushing 3 or 4 guys, he knows when to hold on to it and let routes get into the windows. And if teams are trying to pressure him and play man, he gets it out and beats the pressure. Not that there's hardly ever any pressure with how good their O-line is. And then, you're playing man-to-man on those receivers. That's a dangerous world to be living in, playing too much man on those guys because they're the best in the country.
Next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Zach, I guess since the last time we chatted with you, Fred Peters out for the year or out for a while anyway. Just kind of who's some of the guys that you expect to step into that role, and I guess what's kind of your confidence level in those guys will have to step up?
No, I feel good about it. I mean, yep, Fred's obviously dealing with a little bit. It remains to be seen how long term it is, but can't say enough about how he played and the consistency he brought to that position group when he was in there. He missed quite a bit of time last game with it, and so I know Colin Duncan played probably the majority of the snaps replacing him, but I think it's probably like Coach said, it'll be by committee. We'll have a rotation of guys, and then we'll see who's playing the best, and that guy will, we'll go with that guy.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Joel.
Well, I guess, outside looking in, it seems like there's probably been plenty of opportunity for distraction, I guess, the last couple of weeks. Has it been kind of tough at practice to keep the guys locked in, or have they done a pretty good job at, I guess, kind of ignoring all the noise and just focusing in on what needs to be done?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, obviously, you get an opportunity to play number 2 team in the country right now. Obviously, I'm sure all the experts out there could debate whether they're number 1, 2, whatever, but that don't take much more of an opportunity than that to get guys excited to show up every day, practice and prepare. So it's been good.
We'll go back to Brian Haydad.
Last 2 games, you've had 3 drives where your defense has had to come onto the field inside your own 10-yard line due to turnovers and things of that nature. What is it you tell? What's the message when that happens? When you say, okay, we are really backs against the wall here?
I mean, every defense in the country, you talk to them, right? Any type of sudden change scenario like that, you want to make sure they're lining up to attempt 3 points instead of a PAT. And so it doesn't matter what the situation is, right? Or whether they get it on the 1 or, the negative 1. Our job is to get a stop. And so obviously if it's down in there tight, we want to make sure we don't give up a touchdown and make them line up for a field goal, because you never know. You got a chance to block it. They might miss it. But I mean, that's every defense in the country, right? That's nothing unique to here. That's your job on defense.
We'll go back to Steve Robertson.
Coach, we didn't hear a lot about Sean Preston during fall camp, but he has made some plays for you guys. What has allowed him to be so successful?
Oh, he's a football player. He likes to hit. He had a really nice coverage on the tight end from A&M last last game on third down, PBU there, probably would have been a conversion, knocked it out of his hand. So he's done a really good job. Been very happy with him. And, obviously when you play like that, that only earns you more opportunities and more reps playing time. So hopefully he's feeling good and ready to fly around this weekend.
We'll go back to Steve Robertson.
Coach, talking to some of the players, Kobe Jones seems to be the unquestioned leader for this defense. What has he meant to your team, and what are your impressions of him?
Kobe does a great job, obviously, of echoing the message from the coaching staff. He is a leader, kind of naturally a vocal leader, but yet he also backs it up with his actions on the field. He practices the right way. He shows up to work and prepare every day the right way. We're very fortunate. We got several senior leaders on the defensive side who kind of set the tone. Obviously, Kobe being one of them, Errol, Marquise Spencer, and then you got some younger guys as well. So anytime you're fortunate enough to have senior leadership like that, it's easy as a coach to just shut up and let them take the reins.